Hey there everyone, this is Michael Duggal, and in this video you're going to learn where the buying and selling opportunities are so you can capitalize on our current market right now. We're seeing a lot of very concerning headlines lately. There's even emerging discussions about a potential recession on the horizon. So I'm going to address some of the headlines and my thoughts and also share some of my predictions for you. And if you're considering buying or selling, make sure to call me. And I'm going to jump into this first article that reads, "The wave of mortgage renewals drives owners to list homes," analyst says. And so because of the fact that interest rates are still significantly higher than where they were a few years ago, those homeowners that are required to renew their mortgage in order for them to hold on to the property are questioning whether they should sell the property because of the fact that it may not be feasible for them to pay these elevated monthly mortgage payments. So these homeowners may benefit by selling their existing property, not having to pay these high mortgage rates, and then proceed to rent and then buy a property when the timing's right for them. So at the same time, this is concerning for all of our sellers out there because there's already an abundance of listings on the market right now. This is actually the highest number of listings that we've seen in the past several years, being over 23,000 listings. In addition to that, we have more listings potentially coming up, and there's not enough demand for it to offset the listings, which could be keeping the prices down. However, as per this article over here, we can actually see that prices have increased from January to June 2024. But what we're looking at here are single family homes, and specifically how much they've increased in value from January to June. We can see that North Bay experienced the highest price growth by 12.8%, but even Greater Toronto Area has experienced a price increase by 5.2%. Although at the same time, there's all this discussion about the market being negative, and the reason for that is not necessarily the average sale price, it's the fact that there's such a low number of sales taking place each month. So homeowners are listing their property, being very patient. Many of them have to wait 30, 60, 90 days, even longer for them to sell. And there was even a property that needed to be listed 5 times for it to ultimately sell. Although the one thing you may want to appreciate as a buyer in this market is the fact that most of the listings that are up there have motivated sellers. It's not like homeowners are going to list their property to see if they can get a premium for their home, because that's not going to happen, and they understand that by now. More so, the sellers that may list their property in this market have likely already purchased a property that they need to close on. Perhaps they need to sell their home for financial reasons, or they're moving out of the area for one reason or another. And now if we compare that to 2021 and early 2022, a lot of homeowners were just listing their property to see if they could realize a premium. And that would be very frustrating for a buyer to make an offer on a property and put all that emotion and stress in the picture and then not being able to know whether or not the seller even wants to sell. But the difference is when you list your property in this market, a lot of the homeowners have to go through this humbling process where they realize in the first month or so that they're not going to get the price they want. Then they make their price adjustment and then they sell there afterwards. So at the same time, if you have a property in a high demand location, with the exception of condos, if you price your property competitively and you price it under market value, which many homeowners are doing, they are still going over asking. This property over here we just made an offer on had 9 other offers we were competing with. It says 10 registered offers, and we are seeing this in the market every single day. So especially for the freehold property that's right around the $1 million price point, that's where there's going to be more competition versus properties that are listed for 1.5 million plus. And day after day, it seems that the condo market is getting progressively worse. We're seeing more listings, and I'm not only referring to new construction homes, but also in the resale market. A lot of listings sit on the market for an extended period of time. They don't sell. And there's a couple of factors that could be leading to that. The first being that the rental market is down. So a lot of the investors that would have been in the market to purchase these properties understand that they would be in a significant cash flow deficit should they rent their property out there afterwards. And the second reason is the fact that most of the condominium purchasers in the Greater Toronto Area are investors, and investors are not participating in this market due to the volatility. For the past 8 plus or minus years, we've seen that condominiums in the Greater Toronto Area don't typically realize positive cash flow, meaning that if you purchase a unit and you rent it out, the rental income doesn't offset all of your expenses. However, despite that, we still had buyers purchase these units because at least, of course, they could see some appreciation. Right now, we have a cash flow deficit and we have no appreciation showing whatsoever with the condo market. So it's understandable why the market is so slow. And we can see based on this chart here, just the percentage of properties that are cash flow negative versus cash flow positive. And so it reads that 30% are cash flow negative by over $1,000 a month. And if you're wondering which areas of the Greater Toronto Area have experienced a price decrease or a lesser increase than what we've seen, we can see this chart compares the numbers from June 2023 to June 2024. And Brampton experienced the largest price decrease with the property values down by 9.35%. And this is surprising because Brampton doesn't have too many condos, and it seems that condos are really what's driving most areas for having a price decrease. So Brampton down by 9.35%, Markham down by 6.2%, Richmond Hill's down by around 5.2%, and we can see the areas that have similarly experienced the highest price increase being Vaughan. Homes are up by 7.15%, Toronto West up by just over 4%, and Central Toronto up by just over 1%. So if you have any questions about this information, or you are considering buying or selling, call me. And if you're a real estate agent looking to grow your business, learn what it's going to take in this market to generate leads, make sure to reach out to me to learn more about our network within eXp Realty. I appreciate your support. Do subscribe if you want more updates like this, and I look forward to seeing you next time.